Hey guys, welcome to the second video of the cryptocurrency series brought to you by Trade Mansa. In this video, we're going to learn how to visualize blockchain so that it becomes more intuitive, and we're also going to learn about mining. If you guys haven't seen the first video, please go and watch it before you watch this to understand this even better. Okay, so we'll quickly recap what we have already studied in the first video. We have two blocks over here, block 1 and block 2. Each block have three main elements, which is data, hash, and previous hash. Any modification in the data, even the slightest bit, will completely change the hash because they are always unique. And the previous hash, since block 1, there is no block before block 1, the previous hash over here will be 000. The first block of a blockchain over here, the first block number 1, is called the genesis block. And since block 2 has a previous block before this block 1, so the previous hash over here will be the hash of block number 1. Now hashes should always begin with 4 zeros. Over here, example, we have 4 zeros, and then the next 60 digits can be anything. And the nonce is nothing but the number which, when we put in the block, makes the first 4 digit of the hash as 0. And they are completely there is no set method to find the nonce, so it's completely brute force. So we have to try 1, we have to put 2, we have to put 3 until we get the first 4 digit as 0. That is completely brute force, and the process of finding nonce is called mining. So we'll try to visualize blockchain over here. We have Tom, we have Jerry, and we have Naruto. They all have the same blockchain. B0, B1, B2, B3 is nothing but block 0, block 1, block 2, block 3. H0, H1, H2, H3 is nothing but hash 0, hash 1, hash 2, hash 3. And D1, D2, D3, D4 is nothing but data 1, data 2, data 3, data 4. It's the same for Tom, and it's same for Jerry, and it's same for Naruto. Now let's just say that Naruto tries to make a slight modification in his blockchain. He tries to change H1, he tries to change D2. He tries to put something else instead of D2, right? Let's just assume that D2 over here is 100 rupees. And what Naruto is trying to do is that he's trying to make that 100 rupees into, let's just say, 1000 rupees. So he makes a change in his D2, and he puts a new D2, which is nothing but 1000 rupees. Then a completely new hash will be produced, and because of which the next block, all the following blocks after block 1 will become invalid, and because of which we'll be able to know that Naruto has made a modification in the blockchain. And because of this very reason, it is said that blockchains can't be hacked, because for the hacker to make modification, he or she has to modify at least 51% of the blockchains available. So over here, if Naruto has to make this blockchain valid, he also has to make modification in either Jerry's or Tom's blockchain, which is very difficult to do, because over here there are 3 people, but in real world there are thousands of people who have a blockchain running. So for the hacker to modify at least 51% of all the computers who have blockchain running, it's nearly impossible. So because of that, it is said that blockchains can't be hacked, and it's very good for financial transactions. Okay, so we'll try to visualize blockchain once again in this website. We have a blockchain over here. Now, as I told, nonce is the number which makes the first 4 digit of the hash as 0. Now let's just put anything, right? We'll put some, let's just say E. We have added some random characters, and now the hash is not starting with first 4 digit as 0. So because of that, the nonce is wrong, and we have to find the nonce. So we'll put 1, we'll put 2, we'll put 3, and it's very difficult. So we will now mine the block number 1, and this is the nonce we are getting, 40521. And now let's just put something over here again, and then we'll mine it again, because we don't know, it's very difficult for us to just put on each and every number in the nonce. Now we'll do it again for block number 3. We'll just mine it. It's coming 14256. And block number 4, will again put something and we'll mine it. And then again for block number 5, we'll just mine this. So now this is a valid blockchain, because the hashes over here are starting with first 4 zeros, and they are all following all the rules of blockchain. Let's just see the case when it is distributed blockchain. We have peer 1, peer 2, peer B, peer C. Now over here, if you look at the data of peer A hash and peer B's hash is for block number 2 is the same, because because they are the same blockchain running on completely three different devices or three different computers. Now let's just say that peer A tries to modify the data. He puts something over here. Now he has, if he mines it, and if you look at the block number 2 hash now, it's four zeros and then followed by 98C. But if you look over here, it's 12FA, and if you look here, 12FA. Now because of this very reason, we know that peer A has made any mistake or he has tried to modify any data, and because of this blockchain is not valid now, and these two blockchains are valid. Now let's just assume that peer A wants to continue with this blockchain, so he has to modify this at least 51% of the people over here. So now he has to modify at least 2 out of 3 blockchains. Now if you mine it, we are getting the same number. Look, 3185 the same data, and then if we continue mining it, then this blockchain will be followed. So to hack at least to hack any blockchain running on any the hacker has to hack at least 51% of the existing blockchain, which is completely, it's very difficult to do because there are tens and thousands of people running blockchain on their computer, which is the reason why it is said that blockchain is very safe and the transactions are always valid and very less fraud can take place because the hacker can't hack them. Okay, mining is a process of finding the nonce, as we already know, and it is nothing but finding the number which makes the first 4 digit of the hashes as 0. It is complete brute force. It's trying on each and every number 1, 2, 3, 4, and it consumes a lot of electricity because a lot of computation power is required, and because of this miners get rewarded for it. Now we have Tom, we have Jerry, and we have Naruto. Tom has his old computer, Jerry has a Windows XP, and Naruto has the latest computer out there. Obviously, Naruto will be able to put on each and every number and try on the possibilities faster as compared to Tom and Jerry. And because of this, Naruto will be able to mine the block faster and he will get paid for it handsomely. Now, in fact, mining is a billion-dollar business. These are if the back in the days when Bitcoin was first started in the year 2009 2010, people could mine on their phone, they could mine on their computer, and you could just mine on your computer and do something else also. But now there are big factories, especially in Nordic countries, because the amount of computation power it requires is a lot, and the amount of heat generated is also a lot. So they try to do it in cold countries so that they can keep their systems cool. And it's a billion-dollar business, and people get rewarded handsomely. Now when Bitcoin's first block number 0 is mined, Satoshi Nakamoto was rewarded 50 bitcoins for it. And the system of Bitcoin is such that the Bitcoin block reward halves every 210,000 blocks. So it was 50 bitcoins when you were mining it before. Then after 210,000 blocks of Bitcoin were mined, the reward became 25, and now currently it's 6.25 Bitcoin, and it is going to become 3.125 Bitcoins when block number 8,40,000 is going to be mined. Okay, thank you so much guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to watch the next video in this series.